Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers. I'm your host, Allie Clifton. Joining me is our Laker insider, Mike Bresnahan, and Lakers writer for the LA Times, Dan Wojcicki. And Dan, I just said, we'd love to have you in here, but since we can't, high fives to you. The next best thing, maybe a Mr. B sighting.
Maybe.
We'll see. Fingers crossed. You know, I think he's been a very good boy lately, so he's ready. It's his reward, right? Like, I mean, he's all day, like, trying to get on TV. So, like, this is like who's been a good boy? Are you ready to be on TV?
I can't.
I swear he just wagged his tail. I was going
to say, you better prove it, because if not, you just literally talked to no one and pulled it off.
He'll be here.
I saw Dan talking to no one in the media room yesterday. We had a little chat about it, so I think he's going to work on it. But it takes time, Allie. It takes time.
Well, we cannot wait. Good to see you, Dan. Good to see you, Brez. The Lakers lost to the hottest team in the NBA on Sunday night. The Grizzlies came in and dominated the Lake Show, leading by as many as 29. Memphis won their 9th in a row and snapped the Lakers' season-long win streak at 4 games. Afterwards, Coach Vogel discussed the team not being able to contain Ja and the Grizz.
You know, I want to credit Memphis first. They played great. They've been playing great. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. You know, not having Adams out there, you know, obviously he's a big part of what they do, but they get a little faster and a little more spread out and a little more difficult to guard in some ways. So we had trouble, you know, getting back in transition. And, you know, I thought this is one of those games where, you know, we let a lot of misses at the basket affect our defensive focus. You know, when we weren't scoring, you know, we lost focus of what we're supposed to be doing on the defensive side, and, you know, that can't happen, you know, and, you know, obviously that was a big reason they built a big lead.
Well, I think as of late, I mean, before tonight, we've played some really good basketball. You know, we want to continue that trend over the next 42. You know, like I said, the best thing about our ball club right now is that we're getting healthy. You know, we're logging minutes, we're getting some good chemistry. And obviously we played a great team tonight. I feel like it's a really good coach team. They have a lot of good firepower on that team, and they've been playing well throughout the whole season. But, you know, I feel like if we continue to do what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, probably the last month, then we'll play much better in the second half than we did in the first half.
All right, guys, let's talk top takeaways from this one. Dan, we'll start with you. What's your first takeaway from last night?
Boy, that Memphis athleticism and their depth are a problem. You know, that this is a team that was missing key players. Dillon Brooks is out. Steven Adams is out. These are big pieces starters for them. They're missing their head coach right now. And they were able to weather all that because of how long they are, how quick they are, and just really like just how relentless and deep they are. They've got a lot of different guards that can play. They've got a lot of different bigs that can play. It's a roster that I really like. They're a good team, guys. And they're a team that they're 4th right now. If you told me at the end of the year they're in the top 2 somehow, I wouldn't be stunned. You know, I really think that this is a team that's ascending. And if they're able to keep getting better, they're a problem in the West. They're a very good basketball team.
Brez, your top takeaway? Hard to argue that.
Yeah, you know, we've talked a lot about the others. You know, the guys not named LeBron and Russell Westbrook at this moment, and they've been playing pretty well. Last night, they were off target, no doubt about it. The rest of the starters after LeBron shot 21%, and that's an issue, Allie. That's going to be a little bit of a sticking point. You're not going to win a game if that happens. Avery Bradley off, Malik Monk cooled down. Stanley Johnson made only 1 shot. Didn't take a lot, but he was off as well. And Russ, not really part of the others, but even he got involved in it. He was not really good shooting from the floor as well. This team needs supporting cast. You know, LeBron cannot carry the team each and every single night. He still had his 30-point-plus game yet again, but no one else really stood up last night until Austin Reeves late in the game.
A bonus one from me, my top takeaway from right now in this moment is Mr. B is ready for his close-up. Dan, your second one?
Yeah, disrespectful to Wayne Ellington, too, there, Brez. Wow.
He's good,
put
too.
That all on Austin Reeves. Wellington scored like 70 points in the 4th quarter. I think to kind of piggyback off what you were saying, I think like this is going to be kind of on Frank Vogel a little bit in the sense to kind of find the hot hand, right? The difference between the 5th best player in the Lakers rotation and their 9th or their 10th or the 11th, it's not a huge difference. And I think on a night-to-night basis, there's going to be room for some flexibility. And I think this is a team that wants to have continuity, and this is a team that wants to have a clear identity. But we saw a guy like in Wayne Ellington, right? Like on a night when no one was shooting to come in. I think he made 5 threes in the 4th quarter. You know, maybe it's more Austin Reeves at some nights. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's going to Dwight Howard a little quicker. I think it's going to be one of those things where Frank Vogel wants to have sort of a clear pathway for this team, but it's just not there.
Yeah, it is a tough task for Frank, but he does have guys right now that are proving that they're professional and they're staying ready. Bryce, your second top pick.
Yeah, more Reeves, please. I mean, I really do like seeing him on the court. He always seems to be doing the right thing at the right time, all right? And he wasn't just shooting threes last night when he scored 11 points in that fourth quarter. In fact, he made no threes. It was more him going to the bucket, him playing some pretty good defense, made a bunch of free throws in that fourth quarter, really helped spark that 21-0 Laker run, which seems a little surreal. Then again, Memphis was up by 29 at one point. So, yeah, really like seeing him play in that fourth quarter last night. More Reeves, please. I even made it rhyme for you, Allie.
You need a vehicle, an Austin Reeves vehicle like Rob has with the Monk motorcycle. Think about that.
Get together with the producers on that.
The Lakers had that 4-game win streak snapped, but prior to the game, this was good to see. Anthony Davis getting some work done on the court, wearing a heavy leg brace. AD suffered a left MCL sprain over 3 weeks ago. He's set to be reevaluated after 4 weeks. LeBron knows the key to any Lakers success includes seeing a healthy brow.
It's been a lot clearer of how we want to play the game of basketball over the last few weeks. As like I said, we've been getting our guys back and, you know, knowing how we want to execute, how we want to, you know, defend, and how we want to attack. You know, what's our attack methods, both offensively and defensively. You know, obviously tonight wasn't one of the better of the nights, but, you know, we've been playing some really good basketball. So I feel like I have enough in the sense of who we have now, but I don't have enough sense of who we still don't have. We still don't have our big gun, and that's AD. Obviously, it improves our team right away. But how it changes our dynamic, also K-Nunn when he comes in and fits in, you know, so we will see how we come together, you know, as fast as we can come together, you know, once AD is back, because he's just such a big piece to our puzzle, and we can't ever like look at like, okay, this is who we are until we get him.
Our crew is so quick when it comes to thinking, and we're going to get to it in a moment because it doesn't get any easier. The toughest strength of schedules remaining in the NBA. Lakers are right up there.
Yep.
Bucks are first, Knicks are second, and the Lakers sit at third. With that said, before we talk about AD, Reeves RV.
I'm in.
There it is. The Monk motorcycle and the Reeves RV. Producer trainer. That was great.
You could fit a lot of people in the RV, too. I mean, you're going to be in there, too, right?
Yeah, because, I mean, Rob wants no part of any of us joining him on the Monk motorcycle.
Yeah, he's so selfish. Why does Rob pick a motorcycle? I mean, not really a team player with that mindset.
Let's get back on track.
All right, fine.
AD, how important is it, Bress, to get him back?
Well, obviously, you know, once he does come back, it's going to be a big boost for this team. You have to think of it at this point. It's kind of like signing a mid-season, like a free agent pickup. And he will get, obviously, his place right back in the starting lineup. They miss his defense. It's been fun to watch the small ball lineup. It led to some wins, but as we saw last night, there are times where you just need to play better defense. Those middle two quarters were disastrous for the Lakers. Memphis had, what, 80 points? I mean, that's way too much for any two quarters consecutively at any point in any game. So he will obviously help defensively and also be a pretty good guy to have down near the post. Rebounds, tip-ins, alley-oops, you call it, he'll do it.
Dan, I think it's pretty simple when it comes to a player like Anthony Davis. You know exactly what you're going to get. But with a team right now who's working so hard to build continuity and chemistry without him, do you see some growing pains when they try to work him back in the fold, some time that will take?
Yeah, and before I answer that, Allie, I just want to say how much I would enjoy seeing Brez ride in a sidecar on the Monk motorcycle. Like, how wonderful that would look.
You and me both.
We could maybe, I'm sure that could be photoshopped and it would be.
Have you seen the Monk motorcycle yet?
I have not. I'm usually at games when Rob's in. So I'm sure I can.
Here it comes.
Watch our pregame show?
Oh, there it is. See, yeah. So there is. Oh, I guess somebody's sidecar's already spoken.
See what I mean?
That's too bad.
Yeah, it's devastating.
That's too bad.
Too bad.
Appreciate
you
the
can
thought.
follow behind maybe on some sort of buggy or something
Mike's
like that.
moped.
A Bresnahan buggy.
There you go.
Very fitting.
To the AD kind of growing pains question. I think the only thing, Allie, is that is just sort of incorporating him in as a full-time center. Because that just seems to be what they're going to do, right? Is that they have found an identity, and that identity is to play primarily small, and small in a traditional sense, right? And so that means Anthony Davis at center, and it's going to be something that I think is going to be a night-to-night basis, and getting used to that, and getting used to some rotations. But But look, right, like he's a guy that you can give the ball to in isolations. He's another isolation scorer. He doesn't need the ball, though, necessarily to be effective on offense. He can run around and roll to the basket. And like Brez said, from the moped, he's a defensive difference maker. And I think that, just having one extra guy on the court who can be a plus on defense will really help this basketball team.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when AD comes back, he's going to be out there, so you're going to have to figure it out no matter what, and it's a good piece to have.
He's not
a great
coming
piece
off the
to have.
bench. No. Don't see that.
In case you were at the game, like Brez and Dan were, and missed it, the Lakers didn't get the win at home, but the fans sure did. Flea, participating in a celebrity halftime skills competition. He tweeted that he was scared to death doing it. He looked pretty good doing it, though, except hitting that trick shot off the bottom of the backboard. Don't you think, guys?
Everything was great. He went between the legs, and he got a little air, and then, I don't know if he was trying to go under the hoop with that shot, but he just went a little too far down, just a little bit, but wildly entertaining. Even Laker PR folks were saying, hey, writers, media people, you want to watch this.
10-day, maybe? Dan?
I think, to me, the most exciting part was the back of the jersey right there. Was to Flea, my good buddy.
My good buddy.
Which makes me think that, like, THT maybe just, wants to sit in every once in a while and play a rhythm guitar on Under the Bridge or something like that at the studio. They're old friends. I mean, look, how many Red Hot Chili Pepper songs do you think THT knows?
I was going to say, coming from probably one of the youngest players on the roster. I love it.
Ellie, how many Chili Pepper songs?
The Lakers looking to make it. We are moving on. Make it 3 out of 4 when they take on the Kings in Sacramento on Wednesday night. Shout out to Flea, by the way. Game time is at 7 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet.